Hello and welcome to Newsbreak Chats. I'm Chai Hofilenya, the editor of Newsbreak, which is the investigative and in-depth section of Rappler. This is a new edition of Newsbreak Chats. You will be able to watch us and listen to our discussions about our unique stories every other week, starting this week. Different senior editors who specifically handled or were involved in our investigations or in-depth stories will also host our chats. So hindi lang ako. It's not just going to be me who will be online. For the month of August, we are joined by Gemma Mendoza. She's the head of digital strategy and our lead researcher for Disinformation. We also have Pauline Macaraig, one of our digital forensics researchers. We will be chatting about the stories they wrote and the stories behind them too. Welcome to Newsbreak Chats, ladies.
Thanks for
Hi,
having me.
hello everyone.
Hi, Gemma. Nasa office ka, no?
Yes,
Okay.
one of those
Pauline
people.
and I are doing this remotely. Sige, let's start muna with Pauline siguro because Pauline wrote a story nung latter part of July, no? I think everybody was shocked about the what happens at Ateneo, the shooting incident, and it involved a doctor of all persons, a doctor named Chow Tiao Yumol. Tell us, Pauline, about what piqued your curiosity and what led you to pursue this story and investigate further.
Okay, so I remember it was a Sunday, right? So
Mm.
naka-day off kami sa team, ganyan. But nung nag-start na mag-pop yung messages sa Slack, sa Discord po kasi yung sa team namin. Doon namin nakita na meron ng suspect, and then when we saw na Chow Tiao Yumol yung name niya, one of our team members, sabi niya, parang familiar yung name. Parang nag-appear na siya sa isang scan natin before. And then when we look back, he did appear na nga before dun sa isang scan namin in a study about attacks against journalists. We found out that nagpo-post na siya before ng mga posts against ABS-CBN and supporting the shutdown order sa ABS-CBN before. Kaya siya napasama dun sa scan namin na yun.
Do you
Um,
remember what year that was?
I think that was 2020 because that was when the
2020
order
pa.
was, yeah.
Okay.
Doon namin siya unang nakita. And then when we looked at his profile again, we noticed na meron nga siyang blue check mark and marami siyang followers, may tens of thousands of followers siya, which indicated na malaki yung following niya, maraming mga sumusubaybay sa mga posts niya, and he can also be considered as a DDS blogger kasi yung nature ng mga pinopost niya is really pro Duterte up until na-arrest siya. So
Ang
that's
sabi
why,
rin, you mentioned kasi the blue mark status no on
yeah.
Facebook. Tapos I remember from your story, you described him as a micro influencer. What exactly does that mean? Privileged ba yon? Special person pagka sinabing meron kang blue check mark at saka micro
Yes.
influencer ka?
Okay. Yung micro-influencer na tag, actually, I got that from Assistant Professor Fatima Magao. I interviewed her for that particular story. And yung micro-influencers kasi, they're smaller than your usual bloggers that we know. For example, sila Mocha Uson, meron na yung mga millions of followers eh. But yung mga micro-influencers, nasa tens of thousands lang sila. For example, itong si Yumol, nasa 78,000 yung followers niya. For the blue check mark naman, it's something that the platform does for its content creators. So sila yung nag-a-approve nun. Basically, what it does is that it indicates na yung tao na yon, siya talaga yung may-ari ng account. So it gives that person some sort of credibility para sa mga pinopost niya on his or her platform.
Okay, so curious lang ako, when you worked on this story, ano-ano yung major findings mo?
All right. Actually, I had two stories about this particular event. Yung una, dahil nga we were really interested to know kung sino ba talaga si Yumol, we took a look at his online persona. So, we scraped yung mga posts niya. on his official Facebook page to see kung ano yung mga klaseng narratives yung nilalabas niya doon, kung anong klaseng mga posts yung madalas niyang sinishare. And then from that story, we were able to find out that yun nga, staunch supporter siya ni former President Rodrigo Duterte, particularly nung war on drugs ni Duterte. Madalas niyang ine-endorse yun, madalas niyang sinasabi na sinusupport niya talaga yun. And yung mga hindi nagsosupport sa war on drugs, tinatawag niya ring dilawan before. Other than that, nakita rin namin dun sa posts niya na meron siyang long history of conflict with the Furigais. So, yung Furigay clan dun sa tama dun sa Basilan.
Sa Lamitan, yeah.
Yes. And then other than that, he has also attacked the opposition dahil nga madalas niyang sinasabi yung dilawan na word, madalas niyang ginagamit yun na pang-attack. Kinikriticize niya lagi yung opposition or basically lahat ng hindi sumasang-ayon sa war on drugs or kay Duterte, tinatawag niyang dilawan. So, yun, ina-attack din niya yung mainstream media as I've mentioned earlier. Aside from ABS-CBN, may mga nakita rin kaming posts that attacks mainstream media in general. So, not only ABS-CBN. Rappler meron din.
Tapos after the shooting incident that Sunday, di ba napansin nga natin na parang wow, parang baliktad na talaga yung mundo, di ba? Because somebody who killed someone is all of a sudden a hero online.
Right.
Na-shock ka ba doon? And what were the posts that you saw?
Yes. Medyo actually nakaka-shock talaga siya kasi nung na-notice namin na dumadami yung posts na sumusuport sa kanya, nagsisympathize sa ginawa niya, yung mga main narratives kasi na nakita namin when we looked into the Facebook posts and YouTube videos that mentioned Yumol dun sa title or sa caption, we saw na maraming posts ang nagfe-frame sa kanya as another victim lang daw of the system. Meron din mga tumatawag sa kanya na whistleblower kasi nga meron siyang long history of conflict with the Furigais. Matagal na niyang ina-accuse yung mga Furigay ng drug use and doon sa Basilan. Parang ang framing, ginawa lang niya yung pag-shoot, pamamaril, sorry. Ginawa lang niya yung pamamaril dahil kailangan na niya. Dahil pinaglalaban niya lang yung dapat mangyari sa Basilan, na dapat mawala na sila sa pwesto. Aside from that, meron pang mga tumatawag sa kanya na bayani, umaabot pa sa ganong point, hero or bayani as called by some netizens. Tapos, meron ding narrative na sinishift naman yung blame doon sa victims mismo, which are yung Furigais, na dahil, yun nga, dahil sinabi nila na dilawan nga yung Furigais, they had it coming. Kaya ganun yun nangyari.
Is this something that is, well, common ba sa mga DDS or mga supporters ni Duterte na yung ganong language, yung ganong narratives? And I'm sure, Gemma, both of you have observed this, no? Because you're practically constantly looking at accounts and pages online.
I think actually yung language ni Yumol was really akin to, I mean, it's typical of a lot of the social media, the language of the other social media influencers, and also yung language na nakikita namin sa mga comments. So madalas like may post ang isang malaking influencer, and then may nagre-respond sa post, and yung even if the post itself ng influencer wala siyang sinasabing patayin na to or whatever, pero ang nagiging reaction doon sa post would be something like that, na yung tipong kaya naman pinagpapatay yung mga journalists, halimbawa when it comes to journalists, or dapat na yan, ibitay na yan, mga ganong klaseng we see quite a lot of that in social media, in Facebook in particular. Na mukhang nagiging kalakaran na.
And is it also, and have you observed this also, Pauline, no? Kasi in your story, nabanggit mo si Maharlika.
Yes.
Maharlika being linked to Yumol. And I don't know if there are other people, other personalities who are part of that network. Ganun din ba yung narratives? Is there a common thread among them? These people, individuals who support each other.
Actually, doon nga po sa sa investigation on the kung anong klaseng narratives yung nilalabas ni Yumol, nakita namin na madalas niyang tawagin si Maharlika as his idol. Meaning siya talaga yung siguro tinitingnan niya talaga role model bilang DTS vlogger na gusto niyang maging din in the future. And then yung ganitong klaseng language, hindi lang siya sa DTS vloggers, I think.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
More recently, napapansin na rin mo namin na marami na ring accounts, basta hyper-partisan na account, ganitong language yung ginagamit nila kasi it catches your attention eh. Pagka ganyan yung language mo, mas marami kang interactions na makukuha, mas marami kang views na makukuha, particularly sa YouTube, pagka naglagay ka kunwari ng nakakagulat, ganyan, madali na siyang mapipick up ng mga audiences. Ganun.
So it encourages ang ganitong klase, di ba? Kasi
Yes.
the more
Incendiary.
the more yes,
Incendiary.
correct. That's
Yes,
the word I
incendiary.
was thinking of. Yes, incendiary. Parang kung ganun siya, mas marami kang followers, mas maraming nagla-like sa iyo. Baliktad, di ba? Dapat
So
hindi.
nakakaano siya, nakaka-encourage siya sa mga tao na mas
Oo.
lalo. In our research on attacks against journalists, ang isang napansin namin, yung mga attackers, yung mga taong nag-attack sa mga journalists, been documented to use these kinds of language against journalists, tumaas pa yung kanilang following after, during the period that they've been doing that. So, ano siya, mukhang nire-reward yung ganong behavior.
Maling-mali, di ba? But anyway, I'm curious lang about, yeah, go ahead, Gemma.
Kasi kanina, yung pinag-usapan natin, di ba, the blue check mark. So technically, the blue check mark is really just signifying na totoong tao to, di ba? Pero ano siya hindi naman anybody can have it. So ang magandang tanungin talaga sa Facebook is paano at sino ang nag-endorso ng taong to. Kasi like ang dami namang 'di ba, 80 million ang accounts, ang user accounts sa Pilipinas, and of that 80 million somehow itong taong to na hindi naman connected sa isang media group, hindi naman siya connected sa government, paano nangyari na nagkaroon siya ng ganung privilege, nagkaroon siya ng blue check mark, di ba?
Yes.
Magandang tanongin.
Curious. Sige, pag-usapan natin yan mamaya. Pauline, siguro yung isang point of curiosity then is, gaano katagal mong tinrabaho to? Did you have to check several pages manually in isa mo? Or was there a particular tool? Meron bang methodology na ginamit ka para it's more efficient? And well, people who may be watching us, if they have access to these tools, for example, baka naman they can also be encouraged to help, no? To try to identify all these pages that are sources of hate and disinformation. So tell us about your methods.
Alright, so yung first story, which was about yung posts lang ni Yumol itself, medyo mas madali siya than the second one kasi in-scrape lang yung posts niya and then we ran it sa isang tool that does natural language processing. Basically, ang ginagawa ng natural language processing.
I will interrupt you. What do you
alright.
mean when you say scrape? Kasi visually scrape. What does that mean?
So, diretso ko lang, ma'am, kumari.
Oo, go. Ano ibig sabihin pag sinabi mong nagsiscrape kami?
Alright, so nag-scrape kami nung account ni Yumol, which was to gather yung mga posts. Basically, in-scan namin lahat ng posts niya and then we put it in a spreadsheet or CSV file to para madaling ma-organize and ma-categorize sila isa-isa. But and then after that, we ran it sa natural language processing tool. What it does is kina-cluster niya, medyo AI na siya kina-cluster niya yung mga posts, depende kung gaano sila ka-similar to each other. So doon namin nakita na marami siyang posts na nagsusupport kay Duterte, marami pala siyang post about the furry guys, marami siyang posts na nag-a-attack sa opposition and sa mainstream media. The second story naman, which was about yung mga sympathizers and yung mga nagsusupport kay Yumol after niyang ma-arrest, yung mga posts and videos about it. What we did was nag-scan ulit kami. So hinanap ulit namin lahat ng Facebook posts and lahat ng YouTube videos mentioning his name. Actually, his last name lang nga yung Yumol. And then, ang ginawa namin, mas manual siya kasi pagdating sa ganitong klaseng investigation, we felt like mas may nuancing dapat na ginagawa kesa pag nirun namin siya sa AI lang ulit. So, we gathered our interns, tapos lahat ng mga group members namin sa forensics team, well, tatlo lang naman kami. Isa-isa
Dami
namin
nyo.
isa-isa naming tinag yung posts kung ito, nagsusupport ba to, ito, nagsisympathize ba kay Yumol, ganyan. Doon namin nakita na more than half ng mga Facebook posts mentioning Yumol in the, I think 3 days yun So Sunday yung arrest niya, and then Monday and Tuesday, yun yung dates na in-scan namin. More than half ng Facebook posts na mentioning him nagsusupport or nagsisympathize, and then almost half ng YouTube videos ay nagsisympathize din sa kanya. So mas manual talaga yung second story. Kaya yung first story, 1 day lang siya kasi mas automated. Yung second story, it took us a day and a half before it got published. Napabilis kasi marami naman ang gumawa. We had 3 interns by then.
Okay. Sige, let's shift naman to Gemma's stories, no. Yung kay Gemma, medyo walang person identified, not like Yumol. In your case, parang mas tech siya because it involved SEO operators, and you had a lot of jargon and terms that you used in that story. But before diving into your findings, siguro again also tell us what pushed you to do this story.
So, basically, di ba, as a digital organization, as a digital news platform, very kasama na sa routine natin yung tinitingnan yung anong mga nangyayari sa site, yung health ng site. Basically, we watch out for that, and then also the health of our traffic. Now, as I was looking at our numbers, napansin ko yun, medyo nagkaroon yata ng parang medyo significant na, medyo noticeable na drop dun sa isang main source ng traffic natin, which is organic search. And Rappler, actually, if you look at any monitoring tool out there, among news websites in the country, medyo mataas yung ng Rappler in terms of search, yung percentage ng traffic that comes from search, and then as compared with a lot of other news organizations. So medyo medyo nakakabahala yon, and we started looking at different indicators that could show na that could show us kung anong nangyari. And then one of the things that I saw was that with the tool na ginagamit natin to monitor the health of our traffic of our site, showed this indicator na ay napakadaming medyo ito, let me show something. Bali medyo madaming nag-flag siya ng ay maraming ganitong toxic domains that are linking to us, linking to the site. Now, yung hyperlinking, desired yon ng lahat ng websites. Gusto mo na magkaroon ng mga ibang websites na hyperlink sa'yo. So yung pag-hyperlink kung makita ka sa isang website, tapos pwede mong i-click yon para magpunta dun sa another website or another page, yun yung tinatawag nating hyperlinking. Ngayon, the more of these that you get as a website, that's good because that means other sites are endorsing you. Parang good yun to build your reputation sa mga search algorithms. But ito, madalas siyang ginigame ng mga tinatawag nating black hat SEO operators, yung search engine optimization operators. Kasi gusto nila yung mga sites na binabayaran sila, mag-rise yan sa searches. So, ang nangyayari doon, yung Google, nagkaroon na siya ng rules about mga ganitong negative practices, yung mga medyo dubious na practices ng pag-link back, yung ang tawag doon ay mga link building scheme. So, ideally, yung normal na process is kung gusto mo yung site and may maayos siyang reference tungkol sa isang subject matter, that's when you build the right links. Pero hindi ito yung proper way. Ngayon, we looked at this and then I looked also at the indicators for other news sites sa Pilipinas. And yun nga, napansin ko, hindi lang naman Rappler yung apektado. Like, the other Philippine news websites also, medyo maraming nakita kong marami ding mga ganito, and then may indicator pa na network sila according to the tool. So actually, we're still investigating this, Chai. we're
Hindi
going
pa
into,
tapos.
hindi pa ito tapos. May coming out. Please watch out for it. But basically, ang napansin natin is may mga parang indikasyon na itong mga websites na ito na nagli-link back ay connected to each other. They're linked networks. And they're either connected through parang similar, probably same AdSense accounts. Yung AdSense ay yung pag may advertising yung website, or yung analytics, yung pag-measure ng traffic ng website. Yung mga yon, may indicators yon, may
Does
IDs yon.
does it mean, Gemma, sorry, does it mean na merong somebody paying them? Is this a
Pwede.
livelihood? Is this an industry now?
Oo. So ang ano to, kasi nagtanong-tanong nga ako dahil what can be, ano ba ang potential na reward, 'di ba, sa ganito? Kasi yung ginawa nga ng Google is pinapunish na nila yung ganitong mga medyo hindi hindi mga dubious na link building schemes. But some practitioners, like one particular practitioner I talked to, ang na-point out niya is nagagamit talaga, may siya, may sinay siyang dating client na ganun nga, nagamit sa kanyang kliyente yon na potentially by a rival, kasi medyo napaka-targeted daw nung nangyari doon, na parang parang nagkaroon ng ganung negative link building. So nagmukhang yung site na yon ay complicit in that kind of a link building scheme. So kaya siya na downgrade sa kasi yun lang naman daw yung potential na indicator. So there has been some, I was looking at other literature online. Google did admit, in one of the representatives of Google in video na napanood ko, did admit na in some cases, pag yung algorithm nila, napansin nila na very quite a lot of sites that are linking back to one site are participating in these link building schemes, or may indicators na ganon, it's possible that the algo will distrust the site, or parang ida-downgrade niya yung site na yon. So yun yung isang danger.
Gemma, ang ibig sabihin nito, the overall effect is that when you have all these hyperlinks, they in effect slow down the site, and these are not beneficial to the websites. Ganun ba yun?
Magkaibang yun.
So, or na-downgrade sila sa search?
So, di ba ginagamit natin yung Google to find information? Now, news websites like Rappler, because of the number of link backs, yung mga ganon, usually mataas yung rank natin sa search, and then madalas ang una mong makikita when you search for anything, pag may bagong balita tungkol sa isang bagay, ay news website. Yun yung usual na makikita mo. Kasi ang gusto ni Google, recent. and updated information. So, ganon. Pero dahil may ganitong mga link buildings, mga ano to, na may ganitong negative attack, it is possible na naaano siya, naapektuhan niya yung ranking nung site, and medyo ano to, pinapaimbestigahan natin to.
Okay, iba pa to sa DDoS attacks, di ba?
Iba pa to sa DDoS attack. Now, ang nangyari nung early part of the year and late part of last year was that, remember, the news websites, several news websites, Rappler included, were also DDoS, 'di ba? And yung extent ng DDoS, yung extent ng mga attack, hindi siya normal. Hindi siya yung dati na naman tayo na-DDoS dati, pero ito medyo mas siya, mas intense.
Ay, sandali. For the benefit of again, yung mga non-techies, what does DDoS mean?
DDoS, it's distributed denial of service attack. So, ibig sabihin nun, isang website, para siyang binabarrage ng napakadaming, nagmumukha siyang traffic. So, kasi ang normal na traffic may ilang taong nagbibisita sa website, tapos as they're visiting, may resources involved doon, yung servers ng website ginagamit. Pero sa isang DDoS, parang yung isang bisita, yung isang tao, multiply that with millions or hundreds of thousands yung isang bisita na yon, pero hindi siya tunay na tao, 'di ba, yung nagbibisita na yon. So ganun yung labas ng DDoS.
Okay,
now
so
in this case,
go ahead, continue.
In this case, yung nung isang napansin namin was like, kasi we worked with this digital forensic analyst in order to analyze yung data ng attacks. Ang napansin is one of the techniques used were spam referrers. So parang yung ginagawa ng mga black hats, pero ginamit siya para mag-trigger ng traffic na hindi totoo.
Okay, so ang dami-daming from what you've shared, parang obviously ang dami-daming ways to attack sites, no? Parang, and well, journalists and individuals for that matter, parang siguro kung hindi ka type, it's either you are verbally attacked online, yung misogynistic attacks that we've been seeing, and then merong yung from Pauline's story nga, parang ganong klase rin, no? Na gino-glorify ka even if you've done something that is kahindik-hindik. Tapos meron din naman na tech ang ginagamit. And it's I guess it's not as easy to detect, di ba? Kasi siguro, Gemma, sinilip mo lang kasi napansin mo nga na yung organic traffic is dropping, but otherwise we wouldn't have noticed it. Siguro yung final question ko lang for both of you is, do you think that platforms are doing enough, considering that there's so much hate and yung threats that we're seeing online, and even this tech-related threats, and these are affecting affecting people, affecting lives, affecting business even. So what should platforms do? How do we make them accountable?
I'll
Pauline.
go first.
Yes.
Okay. I just want to start off na I appreciate naman what they're doing, but I really think it's not enough. Kasi if it is, wala tayong stories na ganito. For example, itong si Yumol, nung na-take down yung account niya, we found out na nag-grow pa yung followers niya by, I think, 28,000 after niyang ma-arrest. Yes. Diba? Doon sa incident na yon, I would say na medyo mabilis yung action ng Facebook compared to their previous actions in terms of taking down accounts. Pero yun nga, as we've seen, hindi pa rin siya ganun kabilis, and marami pa rin humakalat na nagsusupport sa kanya. We also got confirmation from them, Facebook and YouTube Facebook only, that they removed posts nga supporting Yumol or glorifying him. Kasi that's actually part of their policies, na bawal talaga yun. They actually removed that, not only in the Philippines, sa lahat. Meron na silang mga ginawang ganun before. But when we checked yung nasa 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 files namin, we found out na marami pa ring hindi na-take down, marami pa ring up. And that's maybe because yung nuancing ng Facebook when it comes to those posts, meron silang mga hindi kinakategorize as harmful when in fact, if you look at it closely, harmful talaga siya. So I think ganun lang. Yung policies kasi ng platforms right now, I think madali siya talagang ma-circumvent kasi that's what's happening right now. That's why we have these cases. So kung mas magiging tight lang yon, I think, and if they keep on working with their stakeholders, maybe mas ma-improve yung policies na yon and mas konti na yung or wala na. Sana wala na yung makakapag-circumvent ng policies nila.
Mhm. Gemma, very quickly, you want to add
Yes.
to that?
Siguro ganito, I'll pull up broader. The beauty of the internet is that it gave people one access to information, but also to avoid to yung ability to be heard, di ba? But when platforms kasi what we're talking here kasi about is our platforms that have billions of users, di ba? And they derive content, they derive a lot of traffic and revenue from all these billions of users, 'di ba? But with that, with great power, 'di ba, sabi nung comes great responsibilities. And in every market where platforms operate, it is very important that they know the nuances of the market. Hindi pwedeng algorithms lang. Kasi yung algos, 'di ba? There are a lot of ways to circumvent. In fact, parang siya digital arms race eh. As you're plugging one hole, may papasok na namang ways to to circumvent those. So dapat may medyo nuance talaga the way platforms manage their systems and manage their users. So very important 'yon. Very important that they put more effort there, they put more people there, not just machines. Hindi pwedeng machines lang.
Mhm. And can ordinary citizens do anything to spread to stop the spread of hate and disinformation?
Well,
For
there are
me,
quite things.
and this is what I always used to say during yung mga fact-checking webinars natin. It starts really with a simple step. It's just to verify things before sharing them. Don't amplify anything that you're not sure about. Kasi dun nagsisimula talaga lahat eh. Kahit na may na-insight siya sa'yo na emotions, but if you're not sure about it, just don't share.
Okay, thank you. Gemma?
And etiquette, di ba? As ordinary citizens, very important yung social media etiquette. You don't, and respect for others, di ba? The other thing is, if you see something wrong, report. Importante yon. And sometimes walang result siya, pero yung that one naman, tumulong siguro sa pag-document ng mga ganitong issues. Padala siguro ninyo sa amin para we examine what were behind those. If there are things you reported pero hindi nagkaroon ng action, ba't kaya nagkaganon? So we keep asking these questions.
Okay, thank you very much, Gemma and Pauline, for joining today's discussion. It's very enlightening, and we hope that, sometimes it feels like Sisyphus. You're pushing up a rock, but it keeps on falling back on you. But we just have to continue trying. We also hope that ordinary citizens, ordinary people, those who are watching us or listening to us, can contribute to the effort to rid or at least minimize or mitigate the effects of disinformation online. Once upon a time, we thought that social media, in fact, we were one of the early evangelists. We said social media was for social good. Kaya lang, bumaliktad na nga ang mundo. Hindi na natin sigurado kung social media is for social good nga ba kasi nga nagamit na siya for hate, the spread of hate, and the spread of disinformation. But hope springs eternal. We continue to use the social media platforms because, as Gemma said, it helps spread information. But as also Pauline mentioned, parang before you share information, you have to be absolutely sure that it is verified and it is correct information. And sana we're on social media and the social media platforms, not just for the sake of getting more likes and followers, but really we go back to the basic mission and vision of social media, which is for social good. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm Chai Hofilenia, and this is Newsbreak Chats.